Okay guys, this is my second video. Going to play another ranked game. As you can see, I am Bronze Colonel, so I think that's what I was last time. I haven't gone down, so that's good. Learnt some painful lessons from the last game. It's uploading at the moment. I'm going to in future sort of edit it down to a smaller file size so that it can upload quicker as well. So I'm hoping to do regular content. I'm hoping to do at least one video a day, but you know, if I can really get into it and have the time, which I do get quite a bit of free time during the daytimes and stuff. I work shift work, so I'm hoping to upload regular content. And for me personally, you know, when I sort of was watching Max's videos, as I say, Max, I can't pronounce his channel, but Maxosity YouTube channel for Stratego. If you just Google, if you YouTube search Stratego, you're bound to find his channel. He was like the inspiration for me to start this channel. So yeah, big shout out to him again, and from you European fans over here, just outside London. So yeah, I'm going to go in, so obviously look for a player, try not to waffle too much, and try to concentrate a bit more. I realised when I watched back the last video that I lost track of his marshal stupidly, really. You know, it hadn't moved, and I was sort of being chased by a captain or something, and I thought it was his marshal. I just lost track of it at a key moment. It kind of ruined the game for me. So I've also made a slight adjustment to this setup, because I found there was a moment in the game where I kind of needed to it wasn't in, for some reason it wasn't in the right position. I can't remember exactly now. I thought I'd just change this bomb structure over here, which is like a fake wedge. We've got another one over here. They're really handy. Sometimes, you know, they'll run into those corners, and obviously that's it. Then once they're in there, they're kind of finished if they're not a miner. So I just wanted to move that along in this game, see if it works a bit better. Yeah, let's see how we go with this second game. Hopefully I can commentate and concentrate a bit better this time and not make any careless mistakes. We had a good moment in the game where I identified his, or I thought I'd identified his spine, and when it became exposed I tested it with a scout, and it was. So it was really unlucky in the first game. So yeah, hopefully I get a bit of redemption in this one. Hopefully this guy's not going to take too long, and yeah, wish me luck. And yeah, it'd be great to hear from everyone that does enjoy the content, does watch this video. As I say, I'm looking to upload regularly, create a little bit of a community for anyone else that likes this game. My first video I explained where I sort of learnt this game many years ago when I was a kid. And yeah, it kind of, eventually I found out it was called Stratego. I used to play a game called Attack, and so yeah, I learnt that it was called Stratego. It was updated, and then obviously I found a website and stuff. So that's where I am now, and I'm very much a low-level player, I'd say. You know, I've probably discovered now that I'm not as good as I probably thought I was when I used to play the same guy years ago, my brother's friend. So anyway, we're going to see what we can do with this setup. I might start changing around if I don't have too much success with this. But so far, you know, it's kind of got me to certain stages, and I think sometimes you need to sort of work with a setup for a little while, and you know, kind of learn from each time, you know, basically, and try and tweak it a little bit if you need to. But saying that, you know, I think Stratego, sometimes you just damn unlucky when you face a setup that kind of counteracts your setup so deadly, you know, that there's not much you can really do. Although saying that, I'd love to hear from like platinum players and stuff, and eventually I'm hoping to kind of get to play people, you know, and network with more people, and hopefully pick up some more tips and tricks along the way. So feel free to comment, please like and subscribe. It'll be doing me a massive favour, and it'll inspire me to keep going, and you know, keep producing the content, even though I realise I like this game enough to go ahead and start it up anyway. So yeah, I know it's not a massive community, but I think probably, you know, as more people learn the game, and at the end of the day, there'll be people growing up learning the game, and the community will always have its own kind of following. So yeah, please subscribe, please join up. I hope you like the content. I hope I don't waffle too much. I hope I don't lose too many games. I hope it's reasonably entertaining and insightful. And yeah, here we go. We've got the game starting up now, hopefully. Yeah, wish me luck. Yeah. So yeah, I think I mentioned in my first video as well, I tend to move up with this lieutenant, and then if there's no attack I'll move up again with my major. Hope the PC's not going to be lagging here too much. And then yeah, I'm just going to sort of start covering these bigger pieces that I've got on my sort of second line, which again is in the same on the first video. I've got those central mainly because, well, two reasons really. You normally, at this level anyway, you'll get people swooping in with their marshal and or their general down this middle lane, so I tend to find that if I cover it there, and it also covers me obviously left and right as well. So okay, so he's got a major there, so I don't really necessarily want to start trading straight away. I'm just going to kind of bluff with this minor. I think what I might need to do is start attacking up these flanks, open up my top line again, which I talked about in the first video. It seems to be lagging a bit. I think because I'm processing the video as well at the same time, it may be causing that. So okay, so he's going up here now to attack that fire, so I think I'm going to go up with my major on this side now and just see if I can get some good pieces. I tend to find that recently I've been sort of going ahead with my majors and seeing if I can gain some captains and smaller pieces. Okay, so I like that, you find a lot of players will have the captains around. Okay, and obviously a colonel is the next rank up, so if it exposes that, now you see I'm aware now I've got my general over that side. I can try and aim for that, or I can sort of try and sell him a bluff, well, let's see what this is here, because he started to attack with this, so I think what I'll do is I'll try and sort of sell a bit of a bluff with one of these scouts in a moment. Okay, so he's moved over, so let's just see what this piece is then, so that we've got an idea if we can got a clear route in or not. And then I think what I'm going to try and do this time is maybe move actually over with the captain, because at the end of the day, if I move up with a scout to bluff, if he fires in a scout, you kind of end up losing a scout. So if I kind of bluff with a higher piece for the time being, if he does send in a scout to check it out, he knows he's going to lose his scout. And okay, now over here it looks like he's trying to bluff that he's got his big piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it with my captain, because we're going to see. Okay, so he's bluffing with that. Alright, so let's see, he might have actually been exposing a big piece here, because he wanted a sort of double bluff. He wanted to make sure that if he did get taken, that he would be covered again, although as I say, it could even be, I suppose you could call it a triple bluff. He may have been bluffing with that piece as well. So anyway, I'm going to go in with this lieutenant, because at the end of the day, these lieutenants that I'm sending up here, they're really two, they're essentially glorified scouts. I want them there in case scouts get sent in and they can kill them off, but at the same time I'm prepared to lose them, So okay, I'm going to bluff here then. We know that this is his colonel and we're worried. Okay, so he didn't buy the bluff, you see. So what I want to do then, I think I'm going to try and go in perhaps with my colonel through the front line. But I think what I wanted to do is shuffle this round here and just quickly check this other piece here, because I've got a feeling, this could be his marshal over here now, because he's sort of covering this colonel, so you think to yourself, well, if he's covering the colonel, he thinks that my general's coming in. Now, this could be a little bit risky for me, because I'm using up this scout. Okay, so that's very interesting. If I go in there with a colonel now, you see, there's potential there for me to get these two majors. Now, that was what I was talking about. It was a bit of a risk. If that would have been a scout, I would have been exposed there with my spy, which I don't want to be doing. So let's see, let's get my colonel up there. I wonder though, actually, yeah, I think it's safer to go up there with my colonel. I mean, it is a risk because obviously, you know, he may have his defences set up to counteract this kind of thing. So, you know, sometimes you just have to really press on, you know, and try and see if you can make headway. I think what I'm going to do though is also occupy him on the other flank. Now he sort of had his captains and stuff at the front, so I'm just going to see if I can swoop in here with a major and see if I can get these two pieces that are at the front here. Okay, that's handy. So now I wonder if I've snagged another captain here, because I think he had a captain on the other side. So let's see. I know, okay, so this time on that side he's got his major there, so let's just make use of a scout up the edges. Okay, so he's got his captain behind his major. So yeah, I mean, I'm not ideally prepared over here. We can probably let that swing and see if we can get something from that. And then I'll have to back off there because it's obviously dangerous over there with that major. So anyway, forgive me if this commentary is not as free-flowing as the last one, because I don't want to kind of make the same mistakes again and lose the game foolishly, but at the same time, you know, I want to give you some good commentary about my thought processes and stuff like that. So it's going to be a bit of a balancing act, and hopefully I'll get a win this time, although I must admit this player does seem to be kind of getting the better of me slightly, because well, I'm already down a major for a start, so although I'm up a captain. So I'm going ahead here with my colonel, and I think, you know, if anything, we can see if he's going to defend in any way, and then we can go from there. I mean, I think what I was going to do is, because there was movement over this side, I'm going to go for this one first, and then let's see if he's got it defended or not. Okay, so he may have it defended that side. And I'm sort of wondering, should I take the risk of losing this colonel for another major? He did move that as cover, so I am wondering here whether it's worth the risk or whether I should sort of go in a little bit careful. I think we're going to. Well, it's a risky one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it safe on this. Let's just play it safe. Keep hold of the colonel for the time being, and you know, let's let the game develop here and go from there. What we can do, you know, I've got plenty of scouts left. I've got plenty of kind of low-level pieces, so I'm happy enough that I can kind of let the game develop a bit more, and then you know, hopefully we can snag that major later on, because we know where it is. There's another one there, and I think what I'll do is I'll bluff here, because if he's coming in with anything serious. Okay, so that's interesting. I think he already knew that was a major, so I think what I might do then is now, as I said, back off with this colonel. Perhaps I'm going to go ahead with this minor and just sort of maybe flush out another scout, or make him think that I'm coming in with big guns, you know, and let's see what he does, you know, because it'll give us an opportunity to test the type of player he is. I mean, I have tried selling him a couple of bluffs already, but he didn't really buy them. So let's just see now what he's got here. Let's see what's covering this side. I know it's a moving piece. Okay, look, so we've got a general there. So okay, so I think perhaps, you know, this could have been his marshal here, and I've actually got to be very, very careful here, because I've left my spy exposed, and that's great. He hasn't attacked straight away as a scout, so I'm just going to cover that for the time being, and he's now saying that that's one of his big guns, but I've got a feeling that that is not his marshal. Now if it is his marshal, I think I'll move to this side, because obviously my spy is in place here now. That's his general, and then what I'll do is I'm just going to move back here with the colonel, and if it worst comes to the worst, you know, there's a bluff there. Is it his major, sorry, his marshal, or is it not? You know, if it's not, then he just didn't want to expose it. He could have gone for that major. Okay, so look, he's coming in with scouts trying to bluff out big pieces here. I've got a feeling that this is his general, this is his marshal. We've got a major here. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a colonel. Now I know we had some big guns coming over here, didn't we? So what I want to do, even though I've got my general out in place earlier, I saw this colonel over here. I seem to recollect now. I've got a feeling that this is just a test piece. This is not a big piece. No, there you are. You see, I think he wanted to know what this is, but I'm not going to go steaming up there just yet, because you know, I've got a feeling that this is his marshal up here. So I might try. You see what he's going to do here. He wants to try and flush out my marshal here. I think he's moved. He knows that I know that this is his general. So what I've done is I've just moved this 4 over now, so that he thinks, right, you know, this is his 10 here. Unless he's an amateurish kind of player, he's okay. So he's going to try and do that. So let me try. I mean, what I can do here, you see, I can sacrifice my major by doing a kind of bluff here. I've got him thinking that this is my marshal, so I'm gonna, yeah, I've got to flush him out there. You see, I've had to sacrifice a major, but what I've done is I've lured him into a trap there. I knew my marshal was down here, but I sold him a bluff here. So, you know, effectively we've done a job there. You know, we've bluffed that out, and we've got what we wanted. Now I've got a feeling that this is a colonel here. Let's see. I've got to be very careful with my spy, because now you know, I've got a slight advantage, I feel, and I don't want to expose this spy unnecessarily. I've got a feeling this is his marshal up here. We're going to see what we've got going on now. I think I've got a slight advantage. As I say, I've got his general. Generals, you know, you've got to be very careful of generals, because what they can do is they can come in and they, you know, once they've got an idea of where your pieces are, they'll come in and they'll, you know, they can really run riot. So I'm happy about getting his general. Okay, well, now we know that's his other major there. I've got one of his majors, and he looks like he's going to go pressing right ahead, the same as you see. What you may find as well sometimes is that when you make a move, when you get a big piece from a player, they'll lose their rag. Is a British term which means lose their temper essentially, and they'll come charging in with all their big pieces, trying to get some revenge, you know. So sometimes, you know, that is something that happens. You've got to be ready for that as well, and then you know, have some defence set up. So okay, now we know this is his major. I cannot remember whether the other one was his colonel over here. Got a feeling this is his marshal. Okay, now there's his colonel. So what he's done is he's fallen into that little trap I had set up there. So we've got his colonel here. Now what I've got to be aware of, the first piece that starts moving for my general is likely to be his marshal. If it starts coming straight over, then you know, that's I've made a bit of a duff move there, because I know he knows that's, you know, actually this is interesting now. Then he didn't take that, so that's quite good. I can now hopefully get to see what one of these two pieces is. Okay, I've snagged his major here now as well, so this has turned out quite well. I'm wondering, is this his spy or something like that? It could be, but I've always thought that this was his marshal here. Now I'd like to, if possible, get a scout over here now then. But I may actually just keep pressing ahead here with this one, and maybe use him as a bit of a scout. As I said, I've got a feeling that that's his marshal here, but he is moving ahead with that. Now, I could really do with being a little bit cautious here. I need to get a scout over here, yeah. Let's move this scout up a little bit and start moving my general over a little bit. Because if that is his marshal, then obviously I want to make sure I can scout that before he gets to me. So I'm hoping I can make a little bit of an escape route out here. I need to really re-evaluate the setup, I think, because I seem to have found myself with no marshals and not a great defence over here. Let's see, let's press ahead with this sergeant, and as I said in my first video, I sometimes make what I call null moves. Let's sort of, they don't really mean anything on the board strategically, but they'll help you out when you're kind of struggling to think a little bit about what's the best way to approach things. Especially if, like this, your setup has left you a little bit, even though you've got an advantage, you know, you've done well so far, you've got to be careful that you don't leave yourself too exposed, you know, which is what I found here. So I may go back and tweak my setup at one point after this game. We're going to go ahead and scout this now. I managed to get a scout in a position where I can... Oh, now that is good. Oh, and here we go. Look, this is what will happen. You know, if you get a strong advantage on a player, they may disappear, disconnect. So I'm quite happy about that. That you know, he kind of came charging in with his spy. I'm not quite sure why he felt the need to do that, because he knew that that was my general. So I don't know. Looking at it, I think he may have been a lower rank than me. I didn't double check that before the stream started, so sorry about that. But I might go back and check that, and I dare say you can rewind it and spot it anyway. So I've got a feeling he may... I don't know, actually, I remember glancing at it, I think he was a little bit above me, so that was a good game. That was a good game. Did get my redemption from the first game, so that's good. And you know, there was some nice moves that worked well for me in that one, and I think, you know, there was a certain amount of luck. The other guy, he made a couple of errors, I would say, to be honest, and yeah, I was quite happy with how it turned out though, and I don't think he's going to connect again. He's lost his spy now, he's lost his general. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyway, we'll try and see this out. I'm not sure if it's well, I don't think it's worth me stopping the video recording until it's finished anyway, so we all know if we've got the victory or not. So yeah, hopefully enjoying the videos, the content, and become a supporter. Subscribe, give it a thumbs up, a like, or whatever you feel you need to do. And yeah, even if you want to comment, good or bad, feel free. All feedback is good to, you know, take on board, and I can either learn from it, or you know, let's just have some fun in the community, commenting on the game, how it went, what moves you think could have been made that could have been better. And yeah, I'm hoping to learn and grow, be a better player. I'm not sure I'm ever going to get to platinum level. My highest I ever got to, I did get into gold. I'm not sure if I've made gold marshal, if I was bronze. I've obviously been a bronze marshal to get to gold. But no, yeah, I think I was, you know, the gold spy, or the bottom of the gold. So, but then yeah, massive losing streaks started happening, and you know, I'm right back down to bronze now. So I'm trying to concentrate and work out a good setup. Okay, we've got the victory now, guys. So I'm going to end this video and upload it as soon as possible. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.